I really love everything that you guys are doing to like create a really inclusive learning environment where you're accepting people like me to like read to students and whatnot, especially at the elementary school level. But honestly, we got to step it up a little bit, and I really would love to perform my routine for the students. So I've decided to craft a little performance for you guys. Let me know how you like it. Hopefully, I can really perform for the kids and really show the acceptance of drag and performance. So let's go, guys.
Point of order. Can you stop his time for a moment?
We're going to need this to be speaking, not...
Yeah, we only allow public speaking. We don't allow performances and dances.
But I am...
We'll go ahead and continue with your time. You are allowed to speak. This is not a performance time. If you want to perform, you need to contact administration.
But I thought that you guys were
Your time is running. I'll go ahead and let you continue.
I thought that you guys were supposed to be loving and inclusive to the trans community. And I'm a trans woman. I'm a drag queen. I perform. And I love that you let me, read and perform and do all this stuff for children. We have the Pride events. I love that stuff. And I just want to be able to perform my routine for the elementary school students, specifically in pre-K and kindergarten. I worked really hard on my routine. I really wanted to do it. I feel like it would really show how progressive and loving and how forward-thinking you guys are. And this is really making me sad. This is bigotry, what you're doing right now by not letting perform. It's white supremacy.
Normal. I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's becomes moist and slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's becomes erect, stiff, and larger. Sometimes a bit of clear fluid that may contain a few sperm comes out of the tip of the penis and makes it wet.
Can we, sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? We have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs, but you don't want me to read it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
That makes two of us.
This one might be the worst yet. We have a school administrator in California actually arguing that we need to, and they are, even as we speak, teaching pedophilia to children as just another option for sexual orientation. Give us the story.
This concerned mother asked the assistant superintendent of curricula in the Brea Olinda School District in California why they were teaching children pedophilia and normalizing anal sex. And you would expect the administrator, the assistant superintendent, to say, oh my goodness, that's horrible. Where did you get such an idea? We would never do something like that. But instead, what she says is, well, this is a sexual orientation that has occurred. And so it's, quote, really important to teach the children about this. And they are.
I wish to raise a matter this afternoon for the attention of the Minister for Education, and I have to say it is not often in this job I am absolutely shocked. I thought I'd seen everything, but this one is just beyond words. It is a note from a constituent who says, "Hi Bernie, this is a worksheet that my 10-year-old daughter brought home from school," and it includes a photo of the worksheet. Part of her homework was to discuss with her father his erections and ejaculation. I find this very disturbing and sickening, as indeed do I have to say. I have complained to the school and was told it was just part of the curriculum. Can you advise who else I should make a complaint to? Well, I could go on for days who she could complain to. My daughter still plays with dolls and writes letters to the Tooth Fairy. There is no way any little girl should be told to ask these questions. Well, so say all of us. What the hell is going on in this state when 10-year-old girls are told to go home and talk to your father about his erections and about his ejaculations? What the hell is going on here? How the hell are we supposed to protect our kids when this sort of perversion is in our schools? This is what is being dished up to them on a daily basis. In a primary school. Not even a secondary school, a primary school. This is just unbelievable. It's staggering. I could not imagine the reaction. I have 3 daughters. I could not imagine the reaction of any of them if they were told to do that. They would be traumatised for life. I don't think they'd ever recover. I'm not sure I'd ever recover. This is just deplorable.
There's 3 initiatives that are put down through the World Economic Forum. One is called CEI, one is called ESG, and one is called DEI. These initiatives are put down as social initiatives from the World Economic Forum, the most powerful people on the planet, through the banks to the big corporations. These corporations, unlike my business, actually depend on that financing 100%. So if they don't do the things that these 3 initiatives, the CEI, the ESG, and the DEI say, they actually lose their funding. So they can't operate their business. So you say, well, aren't these people smart enough to understand why they're destroying their business? They can't not do it. Because if they don't do it, they won't get their funding. So they can't operate. So they have no choice but to do it. And then they drive their business into the dirt. And here's why that's happening. Because the people who run these companies, the officers of the companies, are not the founders of the companies. These are people that are many generations removed and many degrees of caring about the actual brand removed. All right. So these people are college graduates who think they know a whole bunch of stuff because they have an advanced degree, and they are making decisions that are, basically about the money and thinking that eventually people will adopt this and it will stop. But it's not going to stop, and it's not supposed to stop. This is what people are failing to realize. What's happening is we are dealing with a communist insurgency that is undermining the values and the identity of the American public. What they are doing is they are intentionally creating a scenario where the American people rejecting this initiative is actually hurting iconic American brands that remove much of the American identity. So when you name these companies off, all of these companies represent America when you think of them traditionally. So now they're removing part of the identity, which is part of the communist process called demoralization. If there's less identity in America, there's less to fight for, which makes it easier to conquer. All right. Then on top of it, one of the goals of communism is to create 2 classes of people, very poor and very rich. And so what they're doing here is they are getting the American public to cancel their own companies that actually hurts their own neighbors who are good, hardworking American people. Because the people at Bud Light at the top are not the ones feeling the pain here. It's the delivery drivers. It's the hardworking red, white, and blue Americans that believe the same motherfucking shit that you all believe, who are getting fired or laid off or losing because of this. So they have run an operation to push this initiative down through the companies intentionally, where the companies cannot resist it because they're required to do so for their funding, knowing that the American people are going to reject it and destroy these companies, creating the lower class system that they're trying to create in the first place.
An ice cold Bud Light.
I don't have a uterus.
White, transmasculine, femme, non-binary, temporarily, mostly able-bodied.
Primarily because it's less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile.
It's disgusting.
It never ceases to amaze me the number of cisgender women who need to be educated about the anatomy of their own body.
In the women's locker room, tits and ass just hanging around, nothing on.
I dare you to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make.
So you guys probably are aware that TPS and Mustang schools are going through some accreditation problems via HB 1775. You guys are going to have the same issue if you don't clean it up. I'm battling you guys. I'll bring that to bear. These books. This is in 2 elementary schools. It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity. Sanger and Will Rogers teaches teaches the kids that the doctor's merely guessing whether it's a boy or a girl. Child rape, child molestation, do these have academic value? You guys are going to have to answer that question. And it shouldn't take a form. If I send an email to a man who's in charge of protecting the innocence of our children, and the response is fill out a form, I would consider that a millstone offense. There's a rape of a 10-year-old girl, graphic, in this book. It's heartbreaking. By no means should there be a ban on books. Don't mistake what I'm saying for that. There ought to be academic books in the school libraries. And this problem, I never imagined it would be at my alma mater. I went from 4th grade up to Stillwater Public Schools. I'm an alum. And we have books after book after book after book. This at the junior high. This book contains sexually explicit assault and battery. I hesitate to read it. I don't feel comfortable reading it to adults, 13-year-olds. And you guys have bought it for them and provided it for them. And it needs to be corrected ASAP. Are you going to eat her? Yeah, Earl, I'm going to eat her. Do you even know how to eat? No, not really. Papa Gaines never sat you down and said, son, one day you're going to have to eat. No, but he taught me how to eat a. Yep, I would teach you some technique, but it's a little complicated. Son, I don't have time for that. I got 20 over here I need to eat. Is that right? I'm on a deadline. There are 79 in this book. 79. 51 shits, 11 dicks, 15 and 9 goddams, and the list goes on. And you guys need to fix it.
Good evening. My name is Frank Rodriguez, and I'm the Executive Director of Operations for Gays Against Groomers. The reason that I'm here is to show support in regards to deciding to not fly the gay flag during June. I'm a 31-year-old gay man pushing back against the hijack agenda of the LGBT Incorporated. The pride flag, this flag, does not represent me. When you're a conservative gay and you have conservative traditional values, it doesn't represent you. I am tired of this community trying to represent me and the millions of people that support people like me. Gays Against Groomers represents millions of like-minded LGBT members. And the people in this building are upset because they think that they're being marginalized. Do you see Chinese people in here upset that we're not flying the Chinese flag on Chinese New Year's? Or how about Cinco de Mayo when the Mexicans got their independence? Do you see Mexicans in here upset? No. You see my community, the gay people that want to be marginalized, that make victims of ourselves. This flag that I'm standing on no longer represents me. This is not your fault. I'm not yelling at you. I'm upset because people like this are constantly representing my community. They make us look like fools. They make us look dumb. And I'm tired of it. This flag does not represent everyone. With liberty and justice for all. That flag, this flag, the American flag, 13 stripes and 50 stars represent this. Represent us. Not this. Not this. And if the gay community would wake up, we wouldn't have this pushback. Stop indoctrinating children and these types of things wouldn't happen. One more thing. Do you know where I can find a trash can?
If you need a family, you can come hang out with me. Hi, love. Here are 3 ways to disrespect your elders. Hey, kids! Feelings can feel really big. Hi, it's good for children to see LGBTQ lives and LGBTQ people. And it's not just good, it's wonderful.
Jeffrey has a very large following on various social media platforms. Instagram, over 400,000. TikTok, almost 700,000. Twitter, 160,000. And over 20,000 on YouTube. Plus a website offering what is called Jumpstart Coaching, for quote, those who are down and feel lonely all the time. A Patreon that's $4 a month. A published book, with another on pre-order.
This is the very first words of Take Your Own Advice, book number 2, which you can pre-order right now.
And a cameo for anyone who wants to be wished a happy birthday.
I'm happy to make videos for you, for a friend, for your mom, for your neighbor.
Point is, Jeffrey Marsh's ability to recruit followers is extremely comprehensive.
Increasingly, groups use the internet. People are indoctrinated without leaving their bedroom.
So you were told repeatedly, over years, that you're trash, that you're worthless. And if that was your childhood, if you're living like that now, I just want to tell you, I'm so sorry. It's screwed up. You didn't deserve that. But it's time for something new. It's time to think about yourself in a different way, and I know you're being manipulated into empathizing, apologizing, feeling guilty and bad. It's okay to be angry. I'm a member of this family here. Getting choked up just talking about it. Because I love the attention. If man is made in God's image and woman is made in God's image, then God must be like me. It's my job, Jeffrey's job, to tell humanity's truth back to humanity's face.